Hey, everybody. I want to get into a conversation because, baby, my comments are lighting up with people who don't have a clue about hair. And if you do, I don't know why you would put such negativity under my profile or on this channel. But let's get some things straight around here because sometimes we need more context. And a lot of times we don't like to look for it because we have become a lazy people. We want things real, real, real quick, just like we want hair growth real, real, real quick. But we're gonna get into it. We're gonna get into it. And yeah, I think that some things need to be addressed. So we're at the 10:56 mark. But let's talk about some things. Let's get some things started. Let's get some conversation going. Let's have some people come in this chat. We talking about hair. If this is not your specialty, you don't want to hear nothing about hair, this ain't the channel for you. This ain't the conversation for you. But I do hope that you have a wonderful and beautiful day. We're getting into hair care. So Korzen Hair is a natural hair care line. We have curling cream, which I did my beautiful twist with. They are in a very shrinking state, not as shrunken as if I would have just washed my hair. So yeah, this is what I use for my twist, keep my twist moisturized. So I started out with this on dry hair. And then in order to keep my hair moisturized, which I just did today, I add my mousse to it because I don't want to add more curling cream to my hair. The curling cream takes a while to dry. And so I already have my hair in twist. So I use this foam mousse right here. And then I also use this. I make sure that I focus on my ends. So I make sure that my hair is moisturized and I put oil on it to seal in that moisture. So this is a really good combo for that. I always recommend, me personally, if you have braids of some sort, the way to moisturize your hair, use a mousse, preferably this one. Use an oil, lock it in. A lot of times we tend to focus on the roots of our hair. So I see a lot of girls using the oil and just putting it on the roots. Okay, so what are we doing for the rest of the hair? Because most people wear their braids for 4, 6 to 8 weeks. And you got to think all of this hair is in a braid. This is wrapped up in synthetic hair. Okay, sometimes human, but for the most part, your hair is wrapped up in synthetic hair. What are you doing for the rest of this hair and you're only focusing on the scalp or the root of your hair? What are you doing for that? So when you have braids, and I know a lot of girls have the braids for the summer, you want to make sure that you are moisturizing or trying to get as much moisture on your real hair as possible instead of leaving your hair in the braid and it not getting any moisture for the next 4, 6, or 8 weeks. Okay. Thank you very much for the compliment. I appreciate that from you, beautiful. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. So we're going to get into it. So I put up a post on my page. If you have not seen it, go take a look at it. This is a hair page. So I want to make sure that y'all know that while you're coming in, this is a hair page. We sell hair care products. We talk about everything hair. Okay. So just so you know, this is a hair page. Everything is talked about with hair. So and we uplift people and women. So we have some things that we need to really get into. According to a post that I put up yesterday, I want to break down that post and give more context because sometimes people don't like to look for context on my page. It would be a lot simpler if they did and I wouldn't have to go live. But hey, why not take advantage of the live? And show y'all my products. Why does hair need moisture? Because hair dries out. Natural hair tends everybody hair dries out, but natural hair um for us tends to dry out, and so we need to add moisture. But everyone does need moisture. It just depends on your hair type, whether it dries out faster or slower. So some people have to wash their hair every 3 days. Some people can wash their hair weekly to get that hydration back in, and then you want to add products that add moisture to your hair. So absolutely. So we're here to talk about hair care. So let's get into it. So there was a post that I put up on yesterday or the day before yesterday. And the post was an example of a young lady who was doing twists to her hair. I showed my twists. My twists are pretty thick from the root all the way to the tip. They're about the same size. This young lady, hers were not. And so I wanted people to kind of give their take on why they think hers wasn't thick. And also wanted people to understand that when we are looking at each other's hair, we can't necessarily say, not to compare your hair to somebody else's because everybody hair grows differently. So one of the things I realized about my hair per se, Oh, isn't that sweet? Well, it's always a hater in the building, but God bless your soul. So one of the things that I wanted to say about hair is that when you are looking at hair growth, a lot of that has to do with genetics. I didn't say all, a lot of it does have to do with genetics. And so hair just grows in differently for everyone, and it grows at different rates. I've always broken down the science of hair. It's on my page if people want to go look at it. But one of the things that I realize about my hair is the back of my hair grows a lot faster than the middle and the sides of my hair. And that's a hereditary thing because I've passed that down to both of my children. And so it's not anything much that I could do about having my hair grow the way I want it to grow. I would love for all of it to just grow the same time at the same length, but that's not always the case. And so when we think of hair growth, that we need to think of genetics. So back to the post, I wanted people to chime in and have a conversation about why do we think that this young lady's hair was thinner at the end. Her hair was very beautiful, it was long, but why was it thicker at the top and thinner at the ends? So opening up that conversation was extremely important because some of us do compare our hair to other people's, and sometimes we tend to think if their hair looks like this, our hair should look like that too, which is why I brought up the fact of genetics and things being hereditary. We should not compare our hair to other people, but there is science backed information to give everybody, and that's what we try to do on this channel. So one of the things that I want people to know is that when your hair is thinner at the ends, sometimes that can also be just something that is hereditary. Sometimes I know that the longer my hair gets, the thinner it tends to get at the ends. It's not as thick. And I've had long hair, short hair, no hair, all type of hairstyles being in the beauty industry for as long as I have been. And so I've had very short cuts. Bobs are my thing. I'm trying to grow my hair out of the bob now, just to grow it longer because some people don't believe that fat meat is greasy. And I got a lot of really ignorant comments. I wish the world was a better place, but Lord Jesus help us. About women with short hair can't tell women with longer hair what to do. Women who have shorter hair, that's I'm assuming it's going to be by choice unless your hair is falling out. The other thing is there are a lot of stylists who don't have long hair and do hair because then they have to worry about managing their hair and managing their clientele's hair. That's a lot of work. And being a former hairstylist, I've never wanted to have long hair. Well, I've never wanted to have long hair anyway because it's a lot of work, but I've never wanted to have long hair and style uh 10 heads a day and then try to deal with my own hair. Your hair is eventually going to get neglected because you're not going to feel like doing it. So most stylists that I know do not have extremely long hair. And I said that I know. I'm not saying you might know some, but most stylists that I know or that are still in the game, they usually wear their hair a little bit shorter and they don't even let it grow. It's just easier to manage that way. So now that we got that part out the way. Um the other thing, like I said, was when you think about your hair growing and from root to tip, there's some reasons why your hair may be thinner on the ends. And so some of those reasons could be that you are doing a lot of manipulation to your hair. And so that can cause the ends of your hair not to be as healthy as the root of your hair. Damage could be heat damage, could also cause that issue. Lack of moisture, which I just talked about earlier, why you want to make sure that your hair is moisturized because you want to try to keep that length retention. And so sometimes that can also be an issue. Um, and there was another one I wanted to go over, but I can't think of it off the top of my head. Let me see if I wrote it down. Let me see. Hair, you could have hair breakage, lack of trim. Some people don't think that you should trim your hair. You should trim your hair. It's science based. You should really trim your hair. Now, how often you should trim your hair depends on your hair. Usually, my rule of thumb is every 60 to 90 days. But if it doesn't need a trim, don't cut it. It's okay. Um, but trimming your hair does keep your overall hair healthier because just because everybody has long hair doesn't mean that all of that hair is healthy. So it's great that hereditarily they have the long hair, but that doesn't mean that long hair is healthier. Some people do choose length over health. And if that's their choice, that's fine. If whatever makes you feel comfortable, I feel like everybody should wear their hair the way they want to. My biggest goal with educating people is that you want to make sure that your scalp is healthy. Your hair too, But you also want to make sure that your scalp is healthy, because if you don't have a healthy scalp, that's we wind up finding that a lot of people wind up losing their hair. And there are people that have alopecia, and alopecia is like, it's moving fast. I'm gonna say that it's picking up. When I was doing hair, I never saw so many women with alopecia in my life like I do today. So that's why we promote having a really healthy scalp. That's extremely important. Let's see. I told y'all this is about hair. Now I can't. I'm trying, y'all. What y'all want? Y'all got all these questions. How do you maintain? How do I maintain my curls when wet? It's naturally curly. But when I brush, it stays flat and frizzy. Okay, so there are a couple of ways. Let me answer some questions, because so there are a couple of ways that you can maintain your curls. So one of the ways, my son has really curly hair, and it definitely gets frizzy. One of the ways I maintain his curls is with curling cream. I like the curling cream over the mousse. The curling cream is heavier, it defines his curls a lot better. I have a video up showing that how I do his curls and mine. He's in that 3 type category hair. I'm in the 4 type category for those who like to go by the hair categories. And so when I brush his hair, I take it in sections and brush it in sections and let the curls naturally curl up. Also using the products with water. So you want to make sure you spray your hair, go in sections and let it curl. Sleeping in some type of scarf, silk on a silk pillowcase or something stops the frizz as well. Because if you're sleeping on cotton, that's going to make your hair really frizzy. So hopefully the person who asked me this got that answer. Crusty fish underscore 28. So water, curling cream. We have this on our website at korzenhair.com. And taking your hair by sections, brushing it, or fingering your hair like with your fingers, going through it and letting your hair naturally curl up. Sleeping in a bonnet, a scarf, satin or silk, or on a pillowcase that's satin or silk will help with the frizzing. But hair will naturally frizz, it just doesn't frizz as much when you take those steps. Okay. Thanks. My earrings are small. I don't even know you could see my earrings like that. No, I do not do artwork. This is a hair page, but I do love nice pieces of artwork. So I am filling this wall with different types of artwork that have to do with hair. As far as severely dry scalp. So one of the things I will tell people is make sure that you're washing your hair using a moisturizing or hydrating shampoo if you have dry scalp. If your hair continues to be dry, you should go seek a dermatologist, because then it could be something medical. So I always tell people that I study trichology, but I am not a doctor, so I'm not a dermatologist. But some people just have natural dry scalp. It could also be something that you're eating, drinking enough water, eating fruits and vegetables. Sometimes the gut, what you put in your gut, has to do with the hair that's growing out of your scalp, because hair grows from the inside out. So foods also could be an issue too. But again, it could also be something that you're using in your hair. So I can't give you a direct answer, but just um, a simple answer would be, what are you eating? How much water are you drinking? What are you using in your hair when you wash your hair? Or what styling products? What are you putting on your scalp? And if you can say, well, I'm not doing anything, I'm not all of those things, I'm doing everything I can, seek a dermatologist so that they can look further into what the issues could be for dry scalp. But there are shampoos out there that help with dry scalp, but I would still say to go to a dermatologist so that they could refer you to what shampoo you should be using. So let's see, Tommy and Jesse, what to put on curls and let them be soft when they so that they stay wet. Curls don't stay wet. Your hair is not going to stay wet. Hair eventually dries, right? You want to have a wet look. Is that what you're saying? To have maybe a wetter look, I would say this will give you a wet look. This is a curling cream, right? So I just told the other person, using water, using the curling cream will definitely define your curls. It'll give your hair moisture. When your hair has moisture, it gives it that wet, shiny look. But hair is going to dry, so your hair is just not going to stay wet all day. And so people have to get used to, yeah, you look at your hair when it's wet and you're first styling and you're like, oh my God, this is what I want my hair to look like all day. But that's just not possible unless you plan on spraying your hair with water all day. But to get a wet look or close to it, you want to make sure that you're using a moisturizing product that gives your hair that shine. So this is something that will definitely help. I've showed it on my page on this channel, so go take a look at it. You'll see on my 4 type hair as well as my son's 3 type hair how it gives your hair that shine and that wet look that you're looking for. Let me see. Anything else about all of your products chocolate scent? I ask because I don't like the smell of this particular line is chocolate scent, and I know everybody doesn't like the smell of chocolate. But this one is. We are coming out with another line, but give us some time. We rebranded the business, so everything that we're coming out with now is new. So I definitely understand. But if you sign up to our email list at our website, korzenhair.com, we'll let you know when we come out with our new line that doesn't have a chocolate smell. Now, we'll say this, our strengthening hair oil does not have a fragrance because it would ruin the formulation. So there's no fragrance in here. So you could definitely still purchase this. We have our towel caps, no fragrance. This towel cap is really good for, well, it's good for a lot of things, honestly. But this is our microfiber towel cap. So it's good for when you deep condition, put a plastic cap underneath it. We usually send plastic caps out so you don't even have to worry about purchasing one yourself when you purchase these. We need to get some more in stock, the plastic caps, that is. But we send them out with these. You put this over your plastic cap. It's really good for deep conditioning. Also, when you get out of the shower, put a plastic cap on because these will dry out your hair. And you don't want your hair dried out before styling it because trying to style dry hair is not a good idea. It causes more breakage. So let's just say if you wash your hair, but you don't really have time to style it at the moment, but you don't want your head to be cold, put a plastic cap on, put this towel cap on. You can do whatever you got to do until it's time for you to style your hair. So this is what I really like about this particular towel cap. So yes, let's see. What are some products that are good for the scalp that don't clog pores? I'm tempted to cut my hair off and start fresh. I don't know. Why would you want to cut your hair off? Is it damaged? Is that why you're looking for a haircut? So let me just say this. The amount of product that you put on your hair is one of the things that you want to be mindful of. Products that can clog your pores. Grease. If you're laying grease, because oils laying on top of your scalp clog the pores. So we want to make sure that anytime we're using a product, we use it by the directions or we're not overly using our products, which I find that that's a big issue in the hair community. People are just using so much. Let me pop more. Let me do more. Let me do more. You don't need as much as you think you do. That's why I tell people all the time, use water when you're using your products, unless you're just styling your hair on dry hair. Like, for example, when I did a ride set, I blow dried my hair to take out the dry time, and I use my mousse on dry hair. That's different. But I even did these twists on dry hair too. But you still don't want to overuse. You pump enough, you part in sections, and you do your hair. A lot of times people are overusing the products because they're not sectioning their hair. So they're just trying to do everything at once. Now you're using more products than you need. Sometimes it, and then you have all of this buildup because you've overused your product. So using water with your products is the best thing because then that allows the product to evenly be distributed through your hair. If that helps. So, but using a lot of grease and oils on your scalp can clog your pores. There's nothing wrong with using oils. Don't mistake it, but you don't want to overuse it on your scalp. Or you're just gonna have to wash more. You're gonna have to wash your hair more. And then when you do use grease and oils, you need to be using a clarifying shampoo at least once a month. Don't overuse clarifying shampoos though, because they can cause breakage because they do strip the hair to make it the hair get really clean, which is a good thing, but overusing it can dry out the hair, which causes breakage. So let's see, what's the best edge control for 4C hair? Tommy and Jesse, I don't have a best edge control for 4C hair. That's the number one question a lot of people ask. We are in the process of creating the edge control. I really like it, but I'll be super honest with you. When it's really hot outside, I have not seen an edge control that's going to keep your hair from curling up. Humidity is a thing, and there are just some things that we cannot fight against when it comes to nature. But if you want your hair to lay down and have at least a decent edge control, and you're not trying to be outside at the barbecue thinking your edge is going to stay laid, I don't think there's an edge control out there that does that. And if there is, I haven't seen it and we haven't made it. So I can't really recommend an edge control for you. 4C hair and mousse is like gel. It sucks any moisture out. It depends on the mousse that you're using. So, uh-oh, I keep clicking this thing. It depends on the mousse that you're using. If it and mousse isn't like gel, I could definitely say it's not. The ingredients in a mousse and a gel are completely different. So it would depend on the mousse that you're using. And this is End Time Warrior. I'm loving these names. Y'all are so like creative. The names are giving me like everything. I'm like, let me start reading these names. End Time Warrior. Michelle Paris. Why you need a shout out for what? Okay. I just shouted you out without shouting you out, but I'm confused. Um I don't have any recommendations to slick your 4C hair down. One of the things I will tell you all is that when you have a certain hair type and you want to have it sleek, right? And lay down, gels would be the thing, but there's a process to that. So being in the hair industry and doing all kinds of hair, it don't even matter from the 1 to the 4, okay? And when we're talking about hair categories. Um Sleeking your hair down is getting your hair to lay like you want it to lay, is really just training your hair. If you want your hair to do something just like your body, the wonderful thing of how we're made up as human beings is it takes training. And that's even with 4C hair. So if you're wearing your hair sleek all the time, find a product, you have to continue to slick it down, and my sister tie your scarf on it. It's about training your hair to do what you want it to do. But I don't have a product to recommend to sleek your hair down. We don't have that product on our line, so I don't recommend other hair care products. Sorry. I hope you understand. If I run a business and I have hair care, I just don't recommend other hair care products. I'll give you a general, like, oh, use a clarifying shampoo, use a hydrating shampoo, but I don't recommend other brands. Now, I do promote hairstylists on this channel. And if there's something that you can use for your hair that we don't sell or have no plans on selling, I definitely do that. You know, like a young lady, she had like this wrap scarf thing, thought it was amazing, got over 1 million views on that. I hope she made a generous amount of sales. That I would recommend because that's something that we wouldn't come out with. So I hope that makes sense to you. So if you're Honesty Jones, beautiful name. So Honesty Jones, if the products that you're using are flaking on your child's hair, it could be a couple of things. One, you're using too much of it, which I just talked about that earlier. Two, you're not using enough water. Our curling cream doesn't flake. So let me tell you why I love this for not just my hair, but for my son's hair, for kids' hair. One, it has a chocolate smell. A lot of kids like chocolate. They just happen to do. Um, they like chocolate. It also has the look of chocolate. See that? It's a light scent. It's not super heavy, which I do like. But this, it does, you can smell it in the hair. So somebody might walk past and may be able to smell a whiff of it, but it's not extremely strong. This is going to help to moisturize the hair, but it doesn't leave flakes. And if you use it with water, it'll help to evenly distribute the product. So you can definitely use this on your daughter's hair. It will not flake. I can promise you that. I can promise you it will not flake. So that's what I would give you for that, and using water with that when you comb your baby girl's hair. I'm reading through the comments, y'all, so give me some time because I want to answer everybody's questions. If you want to know information about what to use on your hair, if there's a specific product that you're looking for, I don't answer questions like that. I don't refer other brands. You have to do your own research on that, okay? But if you're asking me a general question about your hair or hair, I can give you a general answer. Why? Because I can't see your hair. I don't want to give you an answer and say, well, this is what's wrong with your hair. I don't do that, okay? But I can answer a general question, okay? So I just want y'all to know that if you're thinking of something you want to ask me, I'm completely fine with that. Mint and rosemary is good for you in the future. Okay, that's wonderful. Our hair oil has rosemary in it. So let's see. We have rosemary in our hair oil. I do not believe that it has mint. You could tell me why do you believe mint is good for your hair? Sometimes we think that things are good and we haven't done the research behind it. So I like to know, why would you think that? What makes you think that? Just trying to see where your thought process is when it comes to your hair. Let's see. Keisha, and I'm speaking to, let me call out who I'm speaking to. Victoria Washington. I've always loved the name Victoria. I don't know. It just makes you something about Victoria. Just makes you want to say, what's your name? Victoria. Love it, love it, love it. Keisha Carter, what if you have hair that has the dirty brown color? So it naturally has a dry look even when it's oiled. Okay, so oil sometimes doesn't necessarily give your hair that moisturizing look. I probably said this, you might have missed it. I love dirty brown hair. I know what you're talking about too. And one of the things that I will say is that that color hair is very hard to keep a shine to it. All right. If you don't want to color your hair, if you don't want to, try to use a product that will give you a shine, right? I don't know uh if or what you're using right now, but I do know that dirty brown just has that dry look anyway. I usually, my professional opinion, I would be like, well, just put a rinse over it so that it gives your hair the shine that you're looking for. It doesn't have to be a dramatic color, but it can even be in the brown family, and you can rinse it and it'll add more shine to your hair. If that makes sense. If that makes sense. I mean, it does to me because I've been doing hair and I know some hair is just dull, like gray hair. Gray hair can be really dull. Well, there are hair colors that actually make the gray hair look a little bit better. Like it gives it that shine. Not all gray hair has this like really pretty shine, especially when your hair grows in gray and in certain areas, sometimes it can have the hair looking dull. I mean, not all over gray. I'm not talking about that kind of gray. I'm saying in certain I'm graying now. So in certain areas, my hair just doesn't, it looks dull. It's really up at the front. And if I wanted to have a more shinier look, you know what I do? I put an edge control. The edge control just makes it look better to me, but I don't have it's not on the market yet. So I hope that kind of helps. My skin is glowing. I use face cream and I also use the oil on my skin. So thank you very much for the compliment. I appreciate that. I use a face, let me be clear, a face oil, not my hair oil. I use oil on my skin. I'm looking to see if there are any more questions. I can't tell you if biotin capsule is helpful because I've never used it before. So I don't know. Our end time warrior, you are very welcome. If you have more questions, you can put them in here. I just want to be clear on the kind of questions I answer so that people don't think I'm ignoring their questions. Just so you know, like I'm not recommending products directly and like, oh, you should go shop with her. No, but I love everybody who's in the hair care industry for the right reasons and are trying to sell products that are actually going to help the community. So I definitely love that. Let me see. Anybody else? I'm trying to go through them. They're coming in fast, y'all. So people are coming in, coming out. New here. What about 3B hair? My daughter is 2. What would you recommend? So let's talk about the hair types because a lot of people don't like the hair typing system. I personally like it because it helps some people. And but I want to say don't focus as much on the hair type that you have. Focus more on what your hair needs. Okay. And I put up a post about this on the channel talking about if you are like the porosity of your hair, things like that matter. So, for example, I have a low porosity type hair, so my hair doesn't really hold moisture like it needs to. It takes a long time for my hair to get wet when I go under the shower. So it feels like I'm standing for like 5 minutes. It feels like five, it's probably only two. But to get my hair wet, and my hair is very thick. Um, and so with that, when I wash my hair, it's weekly because my hair tends to dry out. So let's not focus on type as much as we are focusing on, like, I guess, porosity. Does your hair dry out fast? Does it take a long time for your hair to absorb water? Like myself, some people got it really bad. Some people, and I don't want to say bad as in it's a bad way, but like some people can go under the shower and probably they could pour a whole cup of water on their head and it won't get wet like that. I saw this guy do it on Instagram. So when I wash my hair, I wash it weekly because my hair does dry out quicker. And then I moisturize my hair during that week at least twice to make sure that my hair has the moisture that it needs. Okay. If you're a Caucasian person, most Caucasians, not all, may wash their hair every 2 to 3 days. That's because of the oil buildup that they get on their scalp. So everybody's hair is different. So it's not so even with that, it's not about the type, it's about more of a porosity, or what does your hair do? Is it dry? Do you get a lot of oil? If you get a lot of oil in your scalp and you're Caucasian or whatever your nationality may be, you might need to wash your hair every 3 days. For myself, I don't want to wash my hair every 3 days because it doesn't need it, but my hair tends to dry out. And so I'm not getting the oil, but I'm getting the dryness. So I'm washing it to give it that hydration. And that's what the water gives it. Not really hot water, like a lukewarm or as cool as I can get it. I wash my hair like that weekly, and then I moisturize twice a week. I hope that helps the answer. So I think maybe the 3B, or your hair being a 2 and your daughter hair being a 3B, it's like, again, it's all about the porosity. Because even if your hair type was the same, that doesn't mean that the porosity or density of your hair is the same. Like, I have a lot of density in my hair. My hair is really thick. Okay, some people have way more density than mine. Some people have less density. Some people's hairs, strands are really fine. So it just all depends. It's a lot that goes into that. But if you go on my channel, I try to separate my videos, but sometimes, and I have playlists. You may be able to find the answers to your questions if you go look at the playlist as to what your question is about. You should be able to find that. And I think that was, I don't know who was that. Essence Joy 27. So that was the answer to Essence Joy's question. I hope I answered that. Oh, okay. End Time Warrior. I love mint because it leaves a cooling feeling on my scalp. It makes it feel really clean, and I happen to love the smell. Okay. It clears your nostrils too. I've tested a shampoo with mint in it, and it definitely, if you have a cold and you go buy a shampoo with some peppermint in it and get in the shower and wash your hair, when I tell you it's gonna clear your sinuses. So I get it, okay. When I use to get professional braids and mint stop the chronic itching. Okay, I got you. Thank you for that information. Oh, so gold dust is allergic to dyes. Are you allergic to hair dye or all hair color? Or could it be something in the hair color? I also put up a video about that. So there's a playlist on this channel where we talk about how you get alopecia from medical issues, and also how dye can take out your hair. You might want to look in the section of dye. There's a particular formula in a dye that can cause you to be allergic to it. So that could be it. It may not be the everything in the dye. It could be one ingredient that's in the dye that could be causing you the issues. So that's something that you want to know. It may not be the whole thing. And that was gold dust. I'm just giving commentary on your statement because it wasn't really a question. I'm not saying that you're not allergic because I don't know, but it could be that one ingredient that's in the dye. Hey, from Philadelphia, Jump Chambers. Okay, Goddess Plus retracted their message. Okay, I see some people retracted their message. All right. All right, K McC. I get my hair trimmed as often as it's needed, usually every 60 to 90, because I care for my hair in a certain way. I give my hair a lot of attention. Um, my ends don't need to be trimmed as much. Sometimes people go without taking care of their hair and giving their hair the moisture it needs. So those people will tend to have splitter ends because now the hair is just drying out and the ends are becoming split. And when you don't take care of your hair, like like you should, that's what happens. And then you wind up finding out that you probably need your hair ends trimmed every 30 days. Well, I wash weekly. My trims are usually now they're more like every 90 days. So the last time I had my hair trimmed was in April. And even when I went to the salon to get it professionally trimmed, I didn't really need much trimmed off. So it all depends on how well you take care of your hair. But my rule of thumb to anybody is find a professional who specializes, keyword, in taking care of natural hair and go to them at least 3 to 4 times a year. I know we like to do our own hair. We like to save money on that. And I'm with everybody on that. It's hard times out here, okay? But we want to make sure that we're having our hair looked at fully by a professional so that if something is going on, that person can catch it because there are things that they will see in your hair that you may miss. So at least 3 to 4 times. If you can't do 3 to 4 times, go twice every 6 months, twice a year. Just because things could be happening. It's the same thing when you go to the dentist. Stuff can be going on with your body that you may not catch. And people brush their teeth every day. Well, some people. Some people. But you know that you could get things that come in your mouth, like, and I hate to bring this up, but because I know this is about hair, but I've known people to have cancer in their mouth because they weren't going to get their teeth checked. So just to bring it back full circle, my point is go get things checked that you cannot fully see, and that includes your hair and your scalp. So that a stylist would be able to say, hey, I think you're losing hair right here. You need to pay more attention to this area. Makes sense. I hope I answered your question, K Mixie. Let's see. Goddess Plus. Hi, I stopped using relaxers. I'm cool with the relaxers as long as they're not causing fibroids or allegedly causing any cancer. I'm cool with it, but I do applaud anybody who does go back to their natural hair, okay? Because chemicals can be really harsh on the hair. Anyway, let me finish reading your comment. Stop using relaxers on my hair 3 years ago, and I've been getting braids, but my hair is not growing. Okay, so I addressed this earlier. Braids, depending on the hair, can take out your hair. If you're getting braids all the time, all you're doing is just drying your hair out. The braids are drying your hair out. Braids are made from chemicals. The braiding hair is made from chemicals. Let me be clear. The braiding hair is made from chemicals, and not all the time are those chemicals good. So, in the braiding hair, it's plastic. So think about wearing a plastic bag on your hair, your dry hair. We're not talking about your moisturized hair that you just got out the shower. You know how we take the Walmart plastic bag and put it on our hair, and our hair still is wet even when we take it off. No, we're talking about your hair is dry and you're wearing a plastic bag on it. What do you think that does to your hair? Your scalp ain't breathing, your hair just dry and ashy, which is the term I like to use. Your hair is just dry. So what you want to make sure is giving your hair a break, making sure that you moisturize your hair when you have braids. I said this earlier, but I've been on here for almost 40 minutes, so you may have missed that. Moisturizing your hair when you have braids, not just your scalp, because we tend to only pay attention to the scalp when we have braids, and we do not pay attention to the whole braid. So if I had a braid in my hair, I'm going to assume it might stop. Well, sometimes the braids stop. My hair is stretched out, blow dried. I got a braid in my hair. My hair is here. Now the braid probably comes all the way down somewhere past there. Why am I not moisturizing this? That hair is sitting on plastic or wrapped in plastic and it's dry, and you're not adding any moisture to it. Nothing. My suggestion: wear your braids 4 to 6 weeks only. Give your hair a break in between the braids. If you wear them back to back twice, at least the third time, break. Don't get your braids anymore. Find another style to do. I moisturize my braids with my mousse. I also like to add my oil to make sure that my ends and everything is retaining the length. So you can moisturize with a spray bottle and leave-in conditioner. Water in the spray bottle, let me be clear, and leave-in conditioner, shake it up, spray your braid. Spray your braid to make sure that that hair is getting some moisture to it, okay? And not just sitting there dry. But giving your hair a break, goodness plus, I believe that's what it says. Give your hair a break in between braids. Braids are really taking a lot of girls' hair out because they think that they can wear them back to back to back to back, and they call it a protective style. It's not protecting your hair if you're not taking care of your natural hair. Oh no, I don't know how to pronounce your name. Cetalon, Ceto. I do not have products for gray hair. But the products that you can use for gray hair, are you asking about hair color to reverse? Oh, to reverse gray, gray hair reversal. I don't know if you can reverse gray, but can you cover it up? Yes, you can with hair color, dyes can and hair color. There are so many things on the market that can cover up hair. But I'm graying and there's no reversal to that unless I plan on plucking them all out and that still doesn't reverse it because they come right back. Let's see. I stopped using the creamy crack 4 years ago. We talking to Donna Maria Dixon. 4 years ago, you stopped using the creamy crack. Got it braided for a year straight. Wow. Okay, was it braided with synthetic or net or your own hair? Nav traction alopecia. Oh my God, I'm thinking. See, whoo, in the middle bottom of my hair. What can I do to get to grow back? Okay. So I just talked about braids. Talked about this earlier. I hope you caught what I just said. I just said braiding your hair too much can cause alopecia. It can take your hair out. And so a lot of girls have that missing hair. Not everybody, okay? Because I have a whole playlist of why people get alopecia. It's not just from wearing braids. But since we're talking about braids, it depends on the type of alopecia you have. Donna Maria Dixon. Okay, because sometimes people get alopecia where there's several different types of alopecia. I believe it might be 12. Okay, could be more. Sometimes the certain alopecias, your hair will not grow back. And I'm not saying this to scare you, but there are times where the follicle is damaged, the area is scarred, and your hair does not come back. And then there are times where you have traction alopecia and your hair will grow back. Okay, I couldn't tell you if your hair will grow back or not. A dermatologist will be able to see if you have scarred alopecia. So if you want to know if your hair will grow back, my recommendation would be to go seek a dermatologist. I don't know how much they charge, but is it worth going to see them? Yes, because it probably is going to cost you the same amount you would have paid for some braids, maybe $200-300 for the visit. Have them take a look at your scalp and see if your hair will grow back. Dermatologists will recommend what you need to do. I will tell you some things that you can do on here outside of going to a dermatologist. Scalp massages to get that blood flow to circulating through your scalp. That helps with growing your hair. Um, and I don't want to get too much into the science because I have a post up about that, how the blood goes to the follicle and goes up to get your hair to come out. So blood circulation in your body is important. So it's important in your scalp. Give your hair scalp massages. The area where your hair is coming out at, do not put another braid or a ponytail in that area because you're adding tension to that area, and that area has already been stressed out. I think you said middle, back, some bottom, something like that. So that area has a lot of stress in it anyway, so you don't want to add any tension to it. What you can do is twist outs are good. There's no tension when you wear twist outs. You could also French braid, but don't have somebody French braid your natural hair type. If you're looking for some style that you're like, look, I don't want to wear twist outs, I don't want to wear French braids, I got to look cute when I go outside, you can still wear French braids and you can wear a wig. If that's something you don't mind wearing, you can wear a wig, take your wig off, wear the ones that come off, not the ones that be glued to your forehead, child. I don't understand the glue to the forehead unless it's important events, okay? Well, take your wig off, let your scalp breathe, give yourself scalp massages, and you could also use our strengthening oil as well. This promotes promotes hair growth, and it promotes to strengthen your hair as well. I had a bald spot up here. That's because I'm going through premenopause. So for the women who understand that, and my hair is growing back. I got to do another update to show everybody how wonderful my hair is growing. Yeah, premenopause causes that, and that's what it grew my hair. I knew that it was from premenopause, so I wasn't worried about it not growing back. But the steps that I took was I made sure I paid a lot of attention to the area where it was bald, where there was a spot. The bald spot was about this big. And I just did my scalp massages. I used my hair oil, and yeah, and I kept the stress off of that area. So, um, so I hope that answers your question. But those are the things that you can do. But seek a dermatologist. Let's see. Anybody else? In time warming, you have to wash, hydrate, or moisturize your braided hair just as much as tending to your own hair because it. Yes. So with the braids, maybe not as much. So let me say this. And I don't want to say not as much. When you have your hair braided, you can wash your hair once a month, right? You don't want to. You get braids. You're not trying to have your braids look like they 3 weeks old when you just got them. Washing your braids once a month is fine. Okay. But moisturizing your hair, like I said, you can always use a mousse. It's on our website. You can always use a leave-in conditioner and put water in a bottle and just spray your hair. You can sit under the dryer, let it dry, or let it just air dry. Some people say they don't like air drying. I don't see anything wrong with it when your hair is already stretched. Air drying your hair when it's not stretched can cause a lot of problems because it can cause tangles, and especially if you plan on doing something to it. But doing that, and you could do it as often as you feel like your hair may be dry. Everybody's hair dries out differently, so people need moisture at different times. That this is a part of learning your hair. Me learning my hair, I know that my hair at least needs to be moisturized twice a week. I know that my hair feels really good and my scalp feels really good when I wash my hair once a week, but there have been times where I've waited 2 weeks, and it's okay. Um, if I would ever wait to wash my hair a month, it would probably be when I have braids, and that's still fine. You just want to make sure that you're moisturizing your hair in the process. So, if you wash your hair when you have braids, my recommendation would be to use a moisturizing shampoo or a hydrating shampoo, and also still condition your hair. And you don't have to scrub, harshly, but do a gentle wash. You're just like gently washing your hair to get the hydration in there, to get your scalp clean and be done. That's it. Not like you would normally wash your hair if you don't have braids, because we want to still make sure that your style stays intact. I've seen people, even, and I've done this before, use the stocking cap method. But even with that, you still want to make sure you're gently washing your hair so that you're not creating all of this friction in the roots. So hopefully that answers your question, End Time Warrior. Years ago, I wore braids for a year straight on my hair, grew so healthy, and did use healthy hairspray and rebraid every 2 months. I went from 2 inches of hair to past my shoulders. That's wonderful. But again, when we're talking about braids, are you wear braid extensions or are you braiding your own hair? And again, you mentioned like taking care of your hair in the process. Everybody's hair is different. So some people can go 2 months without their hair being washed, and they may say that that works for them. That doesn't work for me though. So it's nothing wrong if you feel like that works for you and you can say I have healthy hair. My hair is not damaged. Then keep doing what you're doing, cuz everything doesn't work for everybody. So, and I definitely understand that. Henna is a good. I've heard of henna. Henna doesn't last as long. Dyes can be harsh on the hair, but you also have to make sure that you maintenance your hair more when you have a dye in it, because dyes can be harsh on the hair. Gray hair is definitely stubborn. I wish mine would go away, but it's not gonna go anywhere, and I'm just gonna have to live with it. I'm pretty sure more gray hair is coming in. Like I be fighting with it. I was fighting with it when it first started coming. I was plucking them things. I was like, nope, not right now, not right now. It's not enough. Now them suckers then came in, and I'm like, you know what? Let me stop fighting with these gray hairs. Let me stop fighting with them. I'm not gonna play. Cause I'm stressing them out. I'm stressing myself out. This is fight. Let's see. See, I have my spray bottle on deck when I'm braided up. Yes. Spray bottle, put some leave-in conditioner in it, shake that sucker up. Don't overuse it though. Don't over spray your hair. We don't need to overspray our hair either. And when you do it a healthy way, braids can benefit. Braids can be beneficial, but you still need to take breaks in between. All right, so let's get to something else. Let me see if I can get to some more questions. Um, yeah, gray hair does change the curl pattern. There's a lot of things that over time that your hair type changes. Gray hairs can definitely do that, and chemicals change your hair type. Wearing it straight can change your hair type. You've seen people where they have curly hair at the root, but then their hair is really straight at the ends because that's just putting a lot of heat to the hair. So if you want a haircut, cut it, girl. Cut it. Joy R, cut it. I like short hair, but by me having a uh hair products out, you know, I don't get to go short like some people because they're famous and they have hair products out. They can wear their hair whatever way they want to. I get criticized. I get nailed to the cross if I would wear my hair short. Then people would already, they think, you don't know what you're talking about. Your hair is short. I get a lot of that. Or because my hair is not down my back, they tell me I don't know what I'm talking about when it comes to hair, which is crazy because that doesn't have anything to do with it. I just happen to like bob haircuts and I love, 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 love short hair. If I can show y'all the pictures of me when I was younger in my 20s, that's all I wore was short hair. It's a thing. It's my thing. It's my thing. But the girls won't let me live. They won't let me live like they let Rihanna live. So, okay, awesome. I think I went through everybody's questions. Look at that. Or at least I tried. At least I tried. Okay, so I just want to jump on this live this morning because I just want to clear some things up on a post I made. I highly doubt that those people who made those comments are on this live because usually negativity seeks negativity. And so I just want to make sure that people understand where I'm going with my channel and with the information that I put out there. That we have a lot of videos that are educational. We have videos that are funny and commentary. I love being funny. This channel and the people in my community, I tell you, they make me laugh on a bad day. I go in there and I just read comments. They make me laugh on a bad day. And and then just this community that I have been able to form, they tell other people what they need to know about their hair, and it's amazing because I don't always have all the answers. It's like going to a doctor and saying, Doc, what's wrong with me? Sometimes your doctor can do all of the research and they will not always have the answers. And so, hairstylists, former hairstylists, trichologists, we don't always have the answers. Sometimes you just got to know your hair and know your body. And by knowing, that will give you your answers. But the only way you're going to know is if you are willing to learn. And that's what's super important. You're willing to learn. Any videos that I have put up or have been referred to me, recommended to me, are for educational purposes and to make you laugh and to make you reminisce on what it used to be, how it used to be when it comes to hair care and things that are really talked about in the culture and in the community when it comes to hair, and to direct you on what stylists not to even be bothered with and the stylists that you should be going to. Because we're in a time where everything is about the following, everything is about, oh, it's trending. And so not every stylist that's trending can do great hair. Not every stylist specializes in everything. Not every stylist knows natural hair. Braiders a lot of times don't deal with your hair health, and that's okay because they're braiders. That's they're here to braid your hair. They're not here to grow your hair. That's not their job. That's not what they specialize in. And so when I create videos, I want people to understand that um focusing on things that people specialize in is super important when it comes to your hair health. And I want people to stop thinking about silly things like cliches. My mama told me, or my grandmama said, don't never let nobody tell me nothing about my hair if they hair ain't long. That's a it was it's funny, but it's not realistic. Everybody doesn't want long hair. I know that Lord knows I don't want long hair. Baby, I got enough to deal with. You talking about running a business. I'm a wife, I'm a mother, and I'm a grandmother. I do not want to deal with long hair. but I only do it because of my business. My hair is the length it is right now because of my business. Okay. I'm only growing it out because of these people. And I think about cutting it every single day. Okay. Because I'm not a long hair girl. So saying things like that, I'm trying to enlighten and educate so that we can stop saying things like that because they sound ignorant in 2025. You know what I'm saying? And so it's solely just to make sure that y'all are educated. But this channel is about reels. It has turned into reels. I started doing long form content. My long form content was not getting views like that. The reels have taken over. And so I get on here and do these lives to hopefully give you guys more context, you guys and gals, more context to certain videos, especially when they blow up and people try to turn a positive into a negative. You'll know when I'm coming negative because I'll say it in the video. I'll say when I don't like something. I'll say when something isn't done correctly so that you can spy with your little eye when something isn't done correctly and start to question if your stylist is doing these things to you. A lot of times we go into the salons and we're putting all our faith in our stylist that they're going to take care of our hair and do what they need to do. And that's not always true. There are stylists out there who don't care nothing about your hair. They care about their coins. They want to get the bag and they overbook. They do your hair quickly. They blow dry your hair rough. They don't do what they need to do with your hair. There's just stylists out there like that. And so I've highlighted some of them in the past. I've gotten a lot of backlash for it, but I don't really care if it's going to help somebody to make a better decision when they go and select a stylist. Stop picking stylists just because they're trending or have a large following. That does not mean they have good customer service. That does not mean they care about your hair. That means that they can do a bomb hairstyle. And just because you can do a nice hairstyle doesn't mean that that person knows how to keep your hair healthy. So I want to make sure that we're clear on that. We want to make sure that we're going to people who specialize in what we want. If I go to somebody we don't go, and let me talk to the women for a second, because I don't know if it's a men on here, but let me talk to the women just for a second. I don't go to my gynecologist for a breast exam. Make sense? We're not going to the gynecologist for a breast exam and vice versa. When we go get a mammogram, we're going to people who specialize in doing mammograms. If we going to get our woo-ha looked at, you're going to the gynecologist. It would be the same thing when you think about your hair. You go to somebody who specializes in haircuts. Okay, I put women up here, stylists who don't have a large following but can do some bum haircuts. You want somebody who is specializing in hair color, go to somebody who you see on their page where they do hair color. You see it. Don't go to somebody where you only see, oh, they did hair color maybe once or twice, but they really specialize in hair weaves. Look for someone who specializes in dyes and color. This person is putting a chemical in your hair. So that could make your hair, break your hair. And I mean literally break your hair to where it won't even grow back. So you want to go to people who specialize in hair color. Okay. And sometimes you may have to have more than one stylist. I'm that girl. Like, I had a girl who really did my nails great, but she couldn't do a pedicure to save her life. At one point, I was going to two different salons, and somebody might think that's extra. I don't care. I want the service that I pay for, and I want good service, and I want somebody who knows what they're doing. So I had a girl who could do some nails, and I was like, yep, I'm going to her, but then I would have to go to another shop to get my feet done. Now, I don't get my feet done as much as I get my nails done. So it worked for me. You know what I'm saying? But if you can't do a pedicure, I'm not going to go to you because it's always convenient. So I'm just going to let her do my feet. No, I'm not. Baby, I'm going to need these feet scrubbed, massaged. I need you to get all this dead skin off. I'm going to need you to put some arm work in. So I'm going to go to the person who know how to do that. I'm just saying, I like to give examples when I talk. So at the end of the day, we need to make sure that we're going to people who know how to do what we want them to do. That way we're not crying and complaining when the person that we went to don't do it right, But I feel like y'all got my point. Let me see. I got a couple of more questions and I'm about to jump off of here because I've been on here for an hour. Most people don't know that a braider can't wash your hair because she doesn't have a cosmetologist license. Yeah, and licenses are a big thing. A lot of people don't know that. I've talked about that before. That's why certain people don't do certain things because they don't have a license. And that's why some people tell you to come washed. because you cannot use chemicals in somebody's hair, even when it comes to shampoo. It's a formulation. So, look, I'm holding up this bottle. This ain't even my shampoo bottle, but people don't wash. They tell you to come wash because they just braiding your hair because they're not adding any chemicals or whatever in your head or something like that. Every state is different, so I can't speak for every state and their rules and regulations when it comes to hair care and the license. But there are some people who don't do certain things due to the fact that they don't have a license. I think that we don't even ask people about their license. We just see people and we don't even worry about, are you licensed or not? And we should be, but even some people that are licensed don't always do what they're supposed to do. And that goes with anybody. It could be a lawyer, that could be a doctor. That's with anybody. So it's not just in hair care. Um, and doing your research is just extremely important. Looking at reviews, like not just taking somebody's word or just because somebody posted good content. Because people post what they want you to see. You got to remember that. When they're doing hair, they post what they want you to see. So they not posting the bad stuff. Okay. Go to Keisha down the street, Jennifer at the salon. Don't even want to wash it. You have to wash it before you see Jennifer. Yes. I don't know why that's changing now. I'm thinking about going back into doing hair though, and your wash definitely will come with it. I don't go to people who want me to um if they're styling my hair. If you want me to come washed, I'm not going to you. Now, back in the day, all braiders that I have went to, and African braiders were the big thing back in the 99 2000s. We didn't have a lot of American braiders. I'm not saying that we didn't have any, but we didn't have a lot. You would come with your hair washed and blow dried. They did not wash your hair in the shop. So that was always a thing. And I've never had a problem with coming with my hair wash and blow dry to get it braid. But if you are about to style my hair in any other style other than braids, baby, you're going to have to wash this head or I'm not going to you. No, I'm not. I will not. I'm glad, MM, that I was able to teach you something. Shampooing is the main reason clients get angry. Is it, are they getting angry because their hair is not being shampooed or it is being shampooed? Uh, Thank you. I try to take care of my skin the best I can, and I drink lots of water, which I haven't had on here. So I drink a lot of water. Peels. I can't tell you about skincare because I'm not into skincare. I just only do what works for my skin. So I just make sure that I wash my face every day with a moisturizing wash. I use a toner, not every single day because the toner can irritate my skin. So I have to use it sometimes, maybe every other day or skip 2 days and then use it. And I use a moisturizer on my skin every single day. And because I'm a woman of a particular age, so I need to make sure I'm moisturizing my skin. And then I follow it up with an oil, which is what you probably see on my face, that gives my face that natural shine. And I don't have on any makeup. So you see a shine and then this Charles Knight bag that come from my daddy. That's hereditary. um I'm thinking about going back into doing hair, but only 3 days a week. I haven't done it in years, but I feel like there's a need for people to experience more of an environment where somebody actually is focused on their hair health and their scalp health. So and the focus not being so much on the style. I love hairstyles. I mean, I did hair in the 90s and 2000s. So baby, we was doing weeping willows and all that type of stuff. I just put up a video about that. We were doing styles. Our styles were, it was a lot of artistry that came with that. Today it's not as much, and that's okay because things have become a little bit more simpler than all of the ways we used to do hair. But even though the styles are simple now, they are not putting as much emphasis on taking care of the natural hair, and that's the big problem that we're facing right now. So it's been a thought. It's not a guarantee, but it has been a thought. And then it also helps with my business because I've been in the beauty business for a long time. I started doing hair in my mama's kitchen. She still stay in that same house. The kitchen definitely looks different. It's been upgraded. um, but I started doing hair in my mom's kitchen. I went to school for doing hair. I came out doing hair. I haven't done hair in a long time because I decided to leave that industry of, just being in somebody's head all the time. I did it full time. I went part time and then I left. I'm still in the beauty industry because now I have hair care products, but it would definitely be a great way for me to use the products on people's hair as well as continue to pour into the industry. I appreciate MM. Thank you so much. The first person who's ever given me money. Oh my goodness. Okay. Thank you. I appreciate that. Never asked for money. I do have a GoFundMe, but I forgot to mention it as usual. I'm that girl who gives all the information and then forgets to tell people what I need or how they can help me. So if you want to donate, feel free. I do have a GoFundMe. I didn't link it. It's GoFundMe. I think Korzen Grow Hair. See, that's horrible. I can't even remember, but I won't worry about that right now. But I do have one, so it's got Korzen Hair. But I do appreciate the donation. Thank you so much. I never think about the donation part. I'm new to this whole live thing on YouTube, but I do like to give people great information. Hopefully, they can take what I'm saying, eat the meat, throw away the bones. Everything works for people. For different people need different things when it comes to their hair. But the main thing that we all need to make sure is that we are taking our vitamins. I don't care what age you are, eating your fruits and vegetables. I don't care how many times you told your mama, I don't want to eat it. I don't want to eat vegetables. Eat them anyway. Find a vegetable that you like. Eat your fruits and vegetables. Drink your water. Okay. Make sure that you drink your water and mind your business. And that just simply means having less stress because there are so many things that affect our hair. And remember that hair grows from the inside out, which is why I told you all of the things that I just said in the beginning. And so that will help you to grow healthier hair. Getting your ends trimmed when you're when they are needed, when you need them to be trimmed. I'm stuttering, y'all, because I'm trying to remember everything I want to say because I'm getting ready to close this live out. Getting your ends trimmed when they're needed, and that usually is about every 60 to 90 days. And just making sure that your hair stays hydrated and moisturized, and that's it. And so I'm glad that I was able to help people answer as many questions as I could. Thank you all for watching the live. And I'll see you guys later. Hey girl, hey girl. Oh, my son, Dimension. My son is doing well. So he's doing well. I have two sons. So just so I can give y'all a little bit about me, because I know people don't know you, and then they look at your comment and your commentary, and they just start thinking all types of things. Let me just say this: I've had this deep voice since I was a child. Okay, I am a straightforward talker, but I love to laugh and I love to be funny and I love to create funny commentary. I'm a mother of three and I have two bonus boys. So my husband and I have five children all together. My children, biological children, are 25, 21, and 6. Okay. And one of my children is on the spectrum. He has autism. Beautiful little boy. All of my children are beautiful, all five of them. My youngest, that's my baby. He's a beautiful boy. He's smart. And you'll see him on some of the commentary that I have done. And he's going into first grade, and this will be his first time in a general ed classroom and not a special ed classroom. So we're super excited for this school year. And he just got a haircut, which I showed y'all. Didn't get a lot of views, and that's okay because some of y'all just like the drama. Some of y'all like me just to hurry up and get y'all the commentary. And I get that. But he did get a haircut, so we've cut off all his curly hair. That's because he just doesn't like his hair combed. He doesn't like it cut either. But the haircuts only need to be done twice a month, every 2 weeks, where he needs his hair combed more often. And he has a sensory issue with the autism, so he just does not like his hair messed with. And I was just like, okay, it's over. And I didn't cut it because he didn't want it cut either, but we had to make a decision on which way we were going to go. And the best way was just let's cut it so that he's not walking around with wild hair. Because then people feel like we don't take care of him because his hair just looks very untamed and matted. So he got his hair cut off. But anyway, thank you guys so much for being supportive to this channel. Thank you for being supportive to the brand. We're going to keep going and moving and doing what we have to do to educate. And I just tell everybody I could do it the simple way, but I'm not a simple person. So I can do it the easy way, get y'all some cute models, show y'all all the hair and the products and all of that, and be like, girl, look at this, y'all look at this. But I feel like we are lacking the education when it comes to hair. And I don't want to be just another brand to throw hair products at you. I don't want to be that brand. I want to make sure that you're educated so that you can choose what works for you. And even if it's not my product, I'm happy that you found something that works for your hair that will allow you to have a healthy hair, will allow you to have a healthy scalp and healthy hair. That's the goal. Of course, I want people to purchase the product, but the goal is to make sure that your scalp is healthy and your hair is healthy because of all the hair loss that I have seen. So I am thankful that I'm able to be in this space to help the people that want to be helped and the people who are open to wanting to be helped, because there are a lot of people that are in my comment section that sometimes I just had to shake my head and go say a prayer. So just so y'all know, when you buy this product, it does have sayings on it. I like to uplift. I like to inspire. I've been doing it for years, baby. When I was a teenager, it would take somebody to know from high school to tell y'all. I like inspirational quotes. And so this one says, "Hello, beautiful. If no one has told you, I am proud of you." So this is an inspiring quote for you on the hair oil as well as the box. It has two different quotes, but I have the oil in my hand right now. The oil states, "Hello, beautiful. I pray you experience unspeakable joy." And the mousse says, "Hello, beautiful. I pray you heal from whatever has broken you." So I'm not here to break anybody, make anybody feel down. I wouldn't put quotes on here like this if I didn't believe in them. I'm a believer in God. I'm not turning anybody into a believer. I'm not asking you to believe. But because of my beliefs, that's why I say I pray, because I do. And I want everybody to experience unspeakable joy, happiness, and to heal from the things that have hurt us. And so that's my prayer. That's my will for people, so that we can walk in the purpose that we are supposed to be walking in and be a light to others. And that's all I pray and hope for. So I hope that this video has helped you all with your day. It's the middle of the week, chat. Is it Wednesday? I think it's Wednesday today. Today is hump day. Some people are feeling tired. They didn't even want to get up this morning, but we up. We at it, and today is going to be a beautiful and great day. I don't care if it's raining where you at. It's going to be a beautiful day, because in your mind, if it's beautiful, then everything else is going to be beautiful. And when people try to tear you down and say negative things and get on your nerve at your job, in your house, shut them out. Be like, nope, today going to be a beautiful day. Hang up the phone, put the phone down if folks get on your nerve, and y'all just keep doing what you're doing. Keep doing what you're doing. Be nice to other people. Be humble. Be kind, because the things that you put out will come back to you. So thank y'all for watching. I appreciate y'all. Not today, Satan. I know that's right. Not today, Satan. Not today. Y'all see me acting fool. Y'all gotta see me acting fool on my reels. I be acting the fool, but I like acting the fool because this is what makes me happy. Okay, I got one kid I'm raising, two out the door, and a grandchild. Baby, God has brought me far. Okay, I can get on here and preach to y'all, but I ain't, because that's for my other channel. But again, thank y'all so much for watching. You know what? I don't pay a lot of attention to a lot of the comments, so Chris probably does need to be blocked. But you see, when you speak something in your life, God has already blocked the comment. So I'm not going to even scroll back and look at it, because that's how God works. He blocks things from you even being able to see them. And sometimes when people leave nasty comments on my stuff, on my videos, people already have defended me. That's how God works, to where I go back and I be like, dang, these people got my back. I don't even have to say nothing. So when they say stuff, it don't even be bothering me, because I be like, my community knows how I am. If people get to know you, they'll understand that you're not trying to be harmful to them. But sometimes people are dealing with things in their heart that they reflect those things. They deflect their feelings onto you. And sometimes, I don't always, I'm not always in a great mood. So sometimes I don't give people, the grace that they need, but I try my best to do it. And we just sometimes just got to be like, okay, it's the heart. It's the heart that's speaking. And what's in the heart, the mouth says. And that's what people do. They type nasty things because they want to make you feel a certain way. They see the joy in your face and they get upset about that joy. That joy bothers them. Why are they so happy? I'm not happy. I got all these problems in my life. They're not even understanding and realizing that you got problems that you're dealing with in your life too. They don't even understand sometimes that your bank account might be sitting in a negative of zero, and they trying to figure out, why are you happy? Why are you happy? I'm dealing with all of this. Why are you happy? Baby, I'm dealing with my things too. I just told you I got a son that's autistic. That's a lot to deal with on a day-to-day basis. A lot to deal with. but I choose happiness for the most part. It doesn't mean I don't get upset. It doesn't mean that I don't get angry. I'm not sad. I don't cry. I choose happiness. I choose joy. It's a choice because I would prefer to sit in that than to sit and waddle in the things that I cannot change at the moment. And there are things that I just have to go through in my life that you're going to have to go through in your life that you're just not going to be able to change at the moment. It's a season. Everything that I go through is a season. But I can waddle in that season and let that season overtake me and send me into a depressed state, or I could choose to be happy and let that season move the way it needs to move. And some people just don't know how to do that. Some people can't do it. And I get it. It's hard. It's hard. But I choose to pick my heart. And my heart will not be letting somebody else ruin my day because their heart is ugly, because they don't know how to choose happiness, because all they can focus on is the bad things that are happening around them. Life is not easy for a lot of people. Life ain't easy for me, but it's lifing, and I'm going to work through it and deal with it because that's all I know how to do. That's all I know how to do. I don't know how to go in a corner and ball up and cry. Not to say I haven't, but I don't know how to stay there. Who want to do that? What good does it do me to stay in this corner and ball up and cry for days? And I ain't got nothing done. No, I need to get up and make my bed. That's what makes me feel better. Let me go walk my dog. That's what makes me feel better. Let me go drink my water. Let me go find something to eat. Let me go do those things. Those are the things that make me feel better. Walling in my mess don't make me feel no better. So I think that people need to learn how to do things that make them feel better, that will allow them to find the joy in the little things that they have. I got a roof over my head. I know that my bills are paid. My son is healthy, regardless of him having autism. My husband get on my nerve, but I got a great husband. I got a great husband, and I'm running a business that's not easy. But when I look on this site, when I look at my community that supports me, that brings me joy because there are people that understand the mission. They understand and see. And so the few people that don't get it, I can't make you get it. And I'm okay with that. But there are a number of people, over 20,000 people, that get the mission. They understand. So will I focus on the maybe 300 that don't understand, or do I choose to focus on the 20,000 that understand and get the mission? I choose to focus on the 20,000. Now, I don't mind giving context, but if I give context to who I am and what I'm doing, and you still choose not to understand, then that's on you. That's on you, and that's not on me. But I'm moving in love, I'm moving in grace, and I'm moving in humbleness. And I want everybody just to be able to do that. But that's not going to always happen. And that's okay with me. That's okay with me. So I'm out. I got other things to do. It's 12:13. I definitely went over my time. I'm supposed to have been off of here. But I do appreciate you, MM. Thank you again. Everybody needs a win. They just don't know how to win. Everybody needs a win. I appreciate y'all for listening. I'll be back on live again. So y'all look out for me. Make sure that you sign up to korzenhair.com's email subscription so that you'll know when things are coming out. We do have a GoFundMe. I will do my best to put that on here, so that if anybody wants to be able to give, because we know that it is extremely hard for small businesses, Black owned and minority businesses, to build capital in order to stay afloat and to keep their businesses going. So that's why I decided to create a GoFundMe this year. Although I've been selling products since 2021, I did it all by myself. Me and my husband have been pouring into this business, but I understand I cannot do it by myself any longer, and I need your help. So I'll put the GoFundMe on here. Thank you all for watching and listening. Extremely appreciate you, and I'm out.